So, Michael Jackson died fairly recently, as you will have known, assuming you've watched TV, gone on the internet, talked to people, went outside, and generally not spent the last few months with your head encased in concrete. And his memorial film has just been released, entitled This Is It, unfortunately excluding the words, "Thank God." Now, this is pretty much par for the course when it comes to celebrity deaths, and to be fair, it can't be any worse than Moonwalker, but it's still pretty annoying. See, those of us who remember what he was actually like before his death, a group which apparently consists of me, remember that he was a good singer, admittedly, and an egomaniac, a freak, and a possible paedophile. By the way, I should say that any comments I make regarding the allegations of paedophilia and their possible ramifications are entirely conjecture, which means that I can say whatever I like and you can't blame me for it. Ha! Anyway. Now, I never claimed he was completely worthless, and indeed he was fairly well respected, even before his death. But now that he's finally gone to the great nursery in the sky, apparently it turns out he was some kind of superhero. Any kind of mention of any of his less desirable traits is conveniently glossed over. Child molestation? Oh, no, 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 no. Everyone knows he was so kind to every child in the world. He would bounce them on his knee and read them bedtime stories all night long. Which, to be fair, is probably true. It's what happened after they were in bed that's the problem. Remember, conjecture. Surgery? Oh, Lord, no. He just had a rare skin condition. So it was a skin condition that not only turned him black to white and severely altered his face, but turned his skin into plastic. That sort of thing only happens in comics. Maybe he was a superhero. But even if he was, there still shouldn't be as many people gathering around him to kiss his rapidly decaying and melting ass. And I'm not suggesting this should be brought up at his funeral or anything, but it's been 4 months. There should at least have been some mention of something wrong with the man somewhere, but no. Of course, this is by no means a new phenomenon. It's happened loads of times before. I mean, take the furore that occurred when Jade Goody died earlier this year. For those of you who have never heard of Jade Goody or have forgotten her, well, firstly, congratulations, you lucky bastards. And secondly, let me just give you a quick synopsis of her life. She was a stupid bimbo. She was on Big Brother a couple of times. Now she's dead. That pretty much covers it. But when she died, there was serious talk of canonizing her. You know, making her a saint. This is a woman who not only thought that East Anglia was some foreign country, but who tried to run in a marathon without knowing how far a mile was. Sure, she was a shallow, fame-obsessed twant with the IQ of a dog biscuit, but let's make her a saint anyway, presumably the patron saint of brain damage. I should just like to make a sincere apology to any dog biscuits that were offended by my last remark. Of course, she did have some posthumous humiliation by having Gordon Brown make a speech about her. That redresses the balance a bit, I suppose, but she was still a bitch. But this has always happened, and it always will happen. I mean, when Gordon Brown dies, he'll be remembered as a strong, intelligent leader who tried valiantly to lead us out of the financial crisis, which it won't mention he got us into. When Bill Gates dies, he'll be remembered as revolutionizing the world of computers, not mentioning the fact that said computer systems make you want to kill yourself after 5 minutes' use. When Margaret Thatcher dies, she'll be remembered... Okay, so it doesn't always happen. And that's probably a good thing, since if even a single person sheds a tear when Paris Hilton dies, I will most likely go on a short killing spree, assuming I'm not already in jail for snapping her in half myself with my bare hands. What was I saying? The thing you've got to remember is that dying is not an achievement. It's certainly not hard, provided you're high enough in the air. It's literally as easy as falling off a log. And it's not always brave and noble. They don't always fight tooth and nail to stay into this world for whatever reason. Most of the time, these people just go to sleep and they don't wake up again. Nothing wrong with that, but it doesn't make them better people. And certainly doesn't gloss over any of the flaws they had in life. And as for don't speak ill of the dead, well, you shouldn't really speak ill of the living either. If you're going to do one, you might as well do the other, which is the same difference, and otherwise you're being a big old hypocrite. But really, I don't know what I hope to achieve with this. I mean, respect for the dead will always be a part of human morality, and it will always cloud judgment. But to be honest, I'd like to think there's slightly more reason to this little rant than some occupational therapy on my part, so I shall give you a couple of pieces of advice. You probably won't take them, but that's no fault of mine. Actually, it probably is if it's bad advice, but never mind. 1. Don't go and see the new Michael Jackson film unless you actually liked him enough to see it even if he was alive. Remember, this is the man who called one of his children Blanket. Insert sleeping with him joke here. And secondly, next time you think of someone who's passed on, just check to see if your perspective isn't a little rose-tinted. Because if it is, chances are that rose-red tincture is from faded blood. And on that lovely image, I shall say, до свидания.